However, we are going to talk cars today. I just couldn't help myself. It's been a bit of a Tesla day. And Michael, you had a piece out that I saw about car sales. So we've made car sales stock of the day. It's done incredibly well. I mean, it really has been a great performer, and they had another equity issue from memory.
Yep.
Yeah, acquisition or buying out the minorities. But are you quite bullish on this stock at the moment?
Look, I am fairly neutral on it. So the piece that we had out earlier this week was just an updated charting commentary, because I just found, look, it is trading in a very interesting manner from a charting point of view. There does seem to be a range happening here where it is converging. So there seems to be, as we could see, a resistance level here just above $23, and we could see that the low points since mid last year have been getting higher and higher. So look, that's a good sign, but I prefer to see an upside break. What can cause that? Look, in terms of what's been happening with car sales, as you mentioned, Danielle, they did raise some money earlier on in the year to fund an acquisition, pay down some debt because they have been on the acquisition spree recently. Look, it's a very well-run business. They're getting their house in order. That's on the positive side. On the negative side of the ledger, we have seen car sales in terms of the sale of cars, those figures. They have been dropping, not only in Australia but in the US as well, which is now where car sales is based. So again, if we think that, okay, spending is going to taper off for a while, it doesn't necessarily have to crash through the floor, but if everyone bought up, spent all their money on new cars over the last couple of years to spend their stimulus checks, and now they need to tighten their belts, we may see demand drop off for a period of time. So that might work against car sales, and you alluded to the Tesla earnings overnight. So yeah, look, there's positive aspects, negative aspects.
So kind of a hold?
I'd have to say I'm sitting on the fence with this. Yeah, it's a hold. Unless we get a break above 23, then you might have some of that short-term momentum. But from where I'm sitting at the moment, I think it's just a hold. A
hold, but a quality company.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Brodie, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I like the fact they're sort of continuing the growth with that acquisition. So the acquisition was just a bit of a top-up of the company Web Motors, which is actually sort of based in Brazil. So I think they had around about a 30% stake in the company, capital raising to pick up another 40% of the company as well. So, I mean, if you look at the market over there in Brazil, I think it's about the 5th largest car market in the world. So, look, if you're going to grow into a particular area, that's a really good place to start as well, and they paid a pretty good price to do that. I think if you look at the sort of shorter term for the company, we are seeing sort of private used car sales listings actually increase. So hopefully that should be able to sort of support their revenues whilst they're going into Brazil, trying to sort of grow that overseas footprint as well. So look, I'm not going out and buying it at the moment. We already had sort of bond yields come back from where they are at the moment. That's sort of any tech exposure has done really well off the back of that. So already had a recent rally, not going out and buying it straight away, happy to hold. It's going to be a really good company. It'll stay stable in your portfolio. Accumulated if you get a market pullback or the share price pulls off from here. Yeah,
so maybe one if we do have a sell-off that people could either start a position in or add to or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Just accumulate when you can, when you think the time's right. Look, it's a good company. The important thing with these sort of growth companies, right, is that they need to keep growing at the end of the day. Usually they get to a certain size and that becomes very difficult for them to do, but car sales, they're doing all the right things, they're sort of ticking boxes, they're not overpaying to do so they're not really sort of forcing it either. So I think it's a good job by the management.
Okay, so that's kind of a hold at the moment?
That's a hold.
That's a hold, yes. Oh dear. My bad today. Picked a stock that gave 2 holds. Hey ho, I'm going to have to work on that one going forward.